Hi, everyone. Welcome to the World Session. It's February 20th, 2024. To help me out, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's all free to do, but it really helps me out so I can continue bringing you content and maybe even improving how it looks, which would be a lot of fun. So I'm doing my best to get my videos for retreat, for this work that we do, and for Dose of Truth. You're enjoying that as well. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram. I'm on Rumble. I'm on X. Where else am I? LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find me just about in all those popular platforms. So, what we do today, we've decided there's a group of us, and we've decided we're going to work with beauty today. So that's going to involve the skin, but also our wonderful muscular system. We'll need to do some cleansing, get the gut brain functioning really nicely too, because the gut brain needs its appropriate probiotics so it can deal with whatever's coming into the gut and keep that microbiome in the colon, especially for people who have IBS, or even if you have skin difficulties, stuff coming up on the skin, that can be that your body's not detoxing appropriately enough. So it's going to come out the skin, which is appropriate, by the way, for the body mind. If the body goes, well, it's got to come out through the integumentary system, fine, so be it. But when it comes to beauty, I don't like it so much. We don't like having a cold sore come up or a pimple come up. We also don't like dark spots, and we don't like wrinkles. So where we started was a lot of us lose hair. Now, I'll give you some recommendations. Remember, this is up to you and your doctor and whoever to decide what you should do. But one of my favorite things to do, it feels really good when you go for a massage. Oftentimes, your massage therapist will do it. Is to do some hair pulling. So you take really small sections of hair, you can twist it and then pull. And you could do that with your entire head. I have found that doing that has allowed my hair to thicken. Though I will add, I do take all the Bs, but I've been doing that for years, and I really didn't see much of an improvement in my hair. A little cheat here. I don't have anything to do with this company, but Moerie, Moerie.com, very expensive products. I've been using them. So maybe that's part of what's going on with the improvement in my hair. And also the last thing that I do is I ensure that I cut my hair or trim it. I only do small trims this time. I waited 2 months, and if you see my ends, they're really quite nice here. You don't see a lot of split ends. I have very fine flyaway hair. It's not the greatest hair in the world, but okay. It's a huge improvement if you look back and you see how much, I had to brush it or whatever I had to do. And today it's kind of falling really nicely after all this work that I've done. So these are just easy things to do. So you don't have to get the shampoo, but I'm just telling you that's part of my ritual. In case you're going, oh, my hair didn't improve from pulling or taking your Bs, especially biotin. And castor oil. Also, castor oil really helps with hair growth. So, I do that with my eyelashes, my eyebrows, my hair on my head. Being very careful, I put very little. Castor oil is purportedly the most absorbent, goes in the deepest layers of the skin and really helps out whatever you need to do. People do castor oil packs. You can look that up online. On YouTube, there's a lot of people who describe castor oil packs. And yeah, sure, you can try all these different things if you're struggling with hair, okay, with your hair on your head or facial hair, etc. So we're going to look at in all of that, are we absorbing from the gut brain? Because the gut brain has so much to do with this, the small intestine, and oddly enough, the heart, right? Because the small intestine and the heart are linked in Chinese medicine. They're the yin yang of each other. Now, if my small intestine is not discerning properly, not throwing out the poisons and the garbage and the toxins. Maybe it ends up throwing away good stuff. Or I might not be able to absorb the Bs that I need to absorb. Or my body won't use, is not using. There are bugs all over. We're filled with bugs, and these bugs are really important for. So there are bugs that eat vitamin B, excrete it, and that excretion is what we use. So I'm going to go through all of these processes. We'll just do it right now. We can tap it in. So there are a bunch of different things that I've said. Getting the vitamin B to go back in the system, improving those bugs that eat the vitamin B, excrete it, then our body absorbs it. So let's do all of those. We're directing the systems. We're directing the liver also to organize and plan all of this. At the same time, we want our microbiome to work properly. So there are a lot of people in the world. My belly is just going, I don't know if you can hear it, but here I'm going right into the microbiome. That's it, the large intestine, and now it breaks down everything. So it goes into feces and we get it out of the body. If we have any perforations or holes in that, what'll happen is candida leaks out, right? So that's when we get what's called leaky gut. Or we can get IBS. We can get all kinds of different things. So let's reinforce. We're going to optimize the gut microbiome. We're going to balance the probiotics to the colon and the entire system. And I'm going to look at your brain and the brain stem regulating pH. You can find those pH strips and you put them in your mouth and you can detect your pH. So my pH right after eating the other day was 8, which is pretty good. You want 7.5 is perfect pH level. So once you eat, and I didn't brush my teeth or anything, I wanted to test it post eating, and it was 8, which is fantastic, right? So there's a little bit of acid breaking down, but the body is doing well. I should actually go test it when in between meals to see what that pH is. So you can that would require an alkaline diet, right? You want to be as alkaline as possible so your body is healing. That's going to include our muscular system. So the liver does this beautiful job of distributing things right throughout the body and goes to muscles. One of the things that the liver will do is if we have not synthesized an emotion, which can happen, we can have emotions from fetal life, we can have emotions from 2 years old or our teen years, things that the body said, okay, that didn't get digested. And the liver goes, well, it just came to me. What do I do with it? It's like a secretary organizing things, sending everything out. So it sends it into different muscles. Now, as I'm doing this, there's this really strange kind of pain going over the elbow here, right from here to here. That's where I'm feeling, hey, those muscles seem to be holding something. So we're going to allow your brain to find out all the places in your muscular system that is storing emotions. The emotions that are the natural emotions in Chinese medicine are anger, sadness, grief, fear, worry, and of course, joy. So we're going to allow your brain to follow those. That's sort of a parameter that your body can go, okay, let me just go find those in different muscular areas. So one good thing you could do after this session is you tap it in before your next workout and then see during that workout or walk or whatever you do, is your body functioning better? Or it could go worse, because as you're releasing an emotion, you might feel like, oh my God. And then your body will actually try and deal with things. It'll try and remove those bits and pieces that need to come out. So it could be any one of those emotions. We're just going to do it simply like that. And we want to go into the integumentary system. That integumentary system is all about your skin. It's all about detoxing. And we want to make sure that it's going to detox by really opening up the pores. So this is going to be all about, those hair follicles, I mean, you have pores all over the body. Are they clearing up or do they get congested? So people who get pimples as a response, if you get sebaceous cysts, that kind of thing, as the toxins are moving through, they're not just coming out as nice sweat. It's just activating too many bits and pieces of pus and all those different toxins that remain in the body. So we're going to clear those out. We're going to allow all the pores to really open, throw things out so it doesn't form a type of cyst or a pimple. It could just come out of the body. All right. So one of the things I do, and don't overdo it because I did, I use a sort of rough, it's a long sort of cloth, and you could use body brushing. You can do all kinds of things. So I do this in the shower every day to stimulate circulation, clear off the dead skin cells. Because I'm an extremist, I kind of overdid it and I made myself super dry. And my body was crying over the weekend, going, oh my God, now you're just full of dry skin. So I lathered myself up in oil. I didn't take a shower and I stopped doing it. And already I can feel the new skin really soft coming through. Another thing that I do to soften skin, if you've got rough areas, is magnesium oil. Now, it's a misnomer. It does feel a bit oily. You get these magnesium flakes and you dilute them in water and you can make different concentrations. I use it as a concentrate. So I just dilute the flake, make sure that it becomes a liquid, just as it becomes a liquid, and I use that, but I use it with cream. So I spray it everywhere. It reduces all dry skin. Like I had really, really rough skin here. It was just insistent, and I did it every day. The skin is soft, soft, soft. I do it on my face sometimes if I get rough skin, and it just becomes super, super soft. So, there's sometimes that we're missing magnesium. A lot of people do have magnesium deficiency. It's one of the most common ones, from my understanding, that is reduced. So it's something you could use. It really helps with cramping, dry skin, that kind of thing. Do it with on my feet a lot. It's really quite nice. It helps with muscle aches and pains, just like Epsom salts. That's still a magnesium, but now I've forgotten which one, magnesium chloride and magnesium, blah, 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 whatever it is, you can look it up. So let's get the body to really kind of go, I need my oils to be moving. That's basically the consciousness here. So, it's not just oil I'm working with, it's going to be all of the circulation. That's including electrons, protons, everything else, right through all of the layers of the skin. So I can see the layers of the skin, I can see hair follicles, I can see the particles, and we just want that area to be going in and out, really like a breath, eh? Like those breathing, they're taking in that beauty. And if you do put magnesium on your skin, it breathes it in, but it also exhales all of the toxins. And we got to connect that to lungs, colon. So you can see the whole dance of why we call, this work body talk. It's the body talking, and it's a holistic process, right? In body talk, I find it so interesting that we don't exclude a thing, right? So we go, oh, I don't want to go to Western medicine. I'm like, why not? If you says you need Western medicine, go for it. We've so much and have in history to be able to deal with our difficulties in our body, right? Whatever is going on. So let's tap that through. Nice story there, nice energy. And now I'll work with this might not directly look like it's about beauty, but the microcosmic orbit, if you learn to visualize it and watch it running through your body, it is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. I did it for about half an hour this morning and I literally felt the difference in my muscles, in my joints, in my energy levels. So the microcosmic orbit goes in, the conception vessel runs from the top of the head, comes down the front of the body, goes up the middle of the perineum, and goes through the midline of your body and comes out again. So you could see it just running around like that. The governor vessel goes from the coccyx, the tip of the coccyx is GV1, and it comes down the middle of the center midline and goes up the back. If you're looking at that at the same time, so let's say this is a side view of someone, the conception vessel comes down and up through the middle, and the governor vessel goes down the middle and up the back. But if you're doing it at the same time, you could visualize it like this. They're working at the same time. This is the front of the body, the back of the body. And when I'm coming down here, the middle of the body, I hope you can see that. You could do it that way. I find that really easy. And then I change it so that I'm watching the conception vessel coming down, governor vessel coming up, and then cross in the middle, in the midline. So that a little harder, I find, to visualize. But once I start working it, I start to notice how much my body, mind loves it. It loves running these circuits. And if you go to your local Reiki master and you take Reiki 3, even Reiki, there's an intermediate stage between Reiki mastery. It's advanced Reiki training. So you don't have to become a master. But if you've got your level 2, you become an advanced Reiki training. And these are exercises they give you with each point and what they mean. So those of you who are Reiki masters, go back and review and start doing this. It is so, so powerful. So we'll just get that microcosmic orbit and any blocks running to our governor and conception vessel will allow them to clear. I already feel one in my midline behind my navel. Okay, I'm just running it. You could visualize it too. If you don't visualize it, that's fine too. So lots of stuff coming up, a little bit of rebellious chi. It's not very strong, but a little bit. I'm feeling it behind the lower aspect of the navel. So I don't know if that's just for me or other people, but it is driving me into the navel. So I think I spoke about the navel last week. So sorry, I'm going to be repeating, but when you put your finger in your navel and you pull, you could push, you could pull, you could really go around the navel, and you do it very slowly, and you will find contractions, just like any muscle. And when you find the contraction, you can just pull. So imagine this is the navel. Let's say I pull here and I go, woo, there's a contraction. So I just hold it until it starts to release. And then I just go to the next part. No, nothing. Oh, maybe there's one here. And you pull. This is going to really help with those conception vessel lines, because especially for anyone, but a lot of women have C-section scars or difficulty with the uterus or genitals. Men too. These are areas that need to open up. Those points, especially 4 fingers below the navel, right into the perineum, that's CV1, CV4. Those are 2 that I tend to focus on a lot. Not that the others aren't important, but those create a focus that really helps with the movement of energy in the second chakra. Then that second chakra, it needs space to travel up to the heart. So if you put your finger, when you're lying down between the nipples on the sternum, you're going to find an indentation. If you want to do it this way, you count 4 ribs. The 4th rib in between, you will find a tender spot right on the sternum. That tender spot is CV17. It's already slowing me down. I'm just kind of like, it just wants to knock me out and make me fall asleep. It hurts a little bit, but it really deals with so many different aches and pains. People have fibromyalgia. I think this is a wonderful link. You have body pains, you have, all kinds of contractions. I do it quite often because I still have, some shoulder dysfunctions. So I do this area. And I can feel a lot of energy moving. There was a tiny little burp, but I think it's going to move into a gurgle. There we go. So now the body wants to move. So here's our spine. So of course, posture really improves how we look, doesn't it? Right? It just if we're standing straight, we're feeling comfortable, the midline is straight, and the rest of us feels as though we're hanging just off a hanger. That's exactly how I feel today. I think that was the microcosmic orbit that did that for me today. So if you just feel into your spine, we'll just allow the microcosmic orbit and the vertebrae to kind of, work together. Ooh, it just feels like moving. Now we need some music so we could go and do some jive dancing. I'm hearing the Bee Gees and jive talking. Doo, 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 doo. There we go. Okay, I'm really crazy today. I know. All right. I hope you're all enjoying this. Let's do a little brush off of the energy, right? So, that old energy, get it out of your hair, get it off your face, get it off your face, off your neck, get it off the body, right down to your feet. Sweep it off, sweep it off. It's a little harder to do the back, but we'll try anyway. Back is always so important. You never know what's coming at you from behind. Okay, now nice stretch. Open up your arms. Really feel those shoulder blades moving. We often don't move the shoulder blades unless you're working out. You could do it this way and pull forward. So I'm drawing my fingers towards the wall in front of me and separating them, and then back like this and bringing them together. Just really pulling those rhomboids together, getting those scapula to come right in, and then forward, pull, open up, and then come back. Remember, be proud. Keep your arms open, have that posture. It'll change your mood, it'll change your voice, it'll change how you feel about the world. Yes, there are times we need to contract away and hide. That's fine. Happens to me all the time. But when we're sort of fed up with it, make sure you're opening your arm and allowing yourself to shine. That is the biggest of beauty, I think. I love you all. Great week, and we'll see you next week.